that, Bud's been a part of our leadership team and business development team from the very beginning. All the different meetings that he's done in the past have been recorded on Zoom as well or on our platform, so you can go back and look and watch those. But he's going to be Zooming in today. Usually he's here in person, but I'm going to stop my share screen here and just go to full screen with Bud, and we'll let you share a little bit about what you have for us. And I appreciate your time and looking like you're on the lake today. Is that what you're happening?
No, I'm actually on the deck of my son's home in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh my goodness, I love Chattanooga. I drove there,
yeah.
going the way from Georgia to
well,
to
shot in the background is actually a river that runs in front of my friend John Johnson's summer home. So I delight him whenever I put that up behind me, and it was there, so I just left it. But let me follow on what the others have done. And by the way, Rod, get my phone number from Mike and text me. We need to get together. And Roger, I'm 87 years old and I'm still looking for what I'm supposed to do next. So take heart with that. If you find something really exciting, let me know and I'll come join you. Actually, by way of quick background, I spent the last 24 years of my working life, or serious working life, as the CEO of Moda Health, building that company from very tiny to very large. And before that, I'd worked for Aetna, the largest insurance company in the world at that time. So I have a lot of experience in both small businesses and large ones. And I'm also currently teaching grad students at two separate universities, one the University of Northwestern in St. Paul and the other at Corban down in Salem. And both of them are outstanding Christian universities. And I love teaching and being able to share some of my experience. And more importantly, to connect the scriptures with the teaching that otherwise would be secular in nature. So it's great. I can pray for the kids, pray with them. And Zoom, of course, has opened up office hours because I teach online. And so it's just I'm enjoying this more than probably anything I've ever done in my life. But what we're looking forward to doing here, some of you have been present when I have given some, unfortunately, lectures. I hate lecturing, but on some very important business subjects. What we'd like to do now is to turn that in a different direction and try to gather together small groups, which we would propose to do online, and take up specific subjects that you are interested in or concerned about, or that will be profitable to you in your own business. This is not a matter of how to help you with business planning or that sort of thing, but where have you got issues that perhaps my experience and knowledge and tons of reading might be able to assist with. And so, in fact, as I told Mike, it takes me back a little bit to, for a couple of years, just fairly recently, I was the CEO of the Metropolitan Medical Society in the Portland metropolitan area. And I found some old books. That society started in the 1880s, and they had some quill pen written notes or minutes, I suspect, from those meetings. And when they were about six or 8 months into them, they began to assign to one of the doctors in the group a particular serious case, or one of them would say, I have this serious case, and he would present it and they would all help him with it. And that's that sort of thing that Mike and I perceive, and James perceive here, is how we might best be able to help. And that is for anyone who would join one of these small groups to be able to bring their problem, or their issue. How do I deal? I remember about mid-career, an employee who wanted to do a sex change. Well, how do I deal with that? And believe me, I learned a lot about how to deal with that, and some degree on that too. So that's the essence of what we want to do going forward, thinking that can really help both the individual who might have the issue and the others in the group as well. Mike, what can you add there that I'm missing?
No, I think
Mike, come up to the mic here. I'm going to have Mike come up here so he can get on the recording as well.
Yeah, good.
Let me switch the camera so we can see that. We got two things happening. Yep, awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure I could add anything much to what Bud has indicated. I think the important thing for y'all to think about is, where can we take the next step in our help and support and mentoring and coaching with you guys? Spending time with Denise, I'll use as an example. We engage one-on-one. I don't want to say often, but when she's in the middle of trying to figure out how she's going to reach out to hundreds and hundreds of healthcare providers with her initiative, she doesn't have somebody in her network today that she can call upon. So we've made ourselves available, and we want to take and now apply the expertise that somebody like Bud, I mean, this is like getting Henry Ford to come to your automobile company to help you get the thing started, as far as I'm concerned. So people like him, and I'll also recognize Mike Hudspeth too. For those of you that have engaged with him, these are top quality, individuals that have tons of experience, real life business experience. Have had to overcome lots of issues. So we want to make that available. We want to step up our support and the value proposition that we're bringing to you guys. We're going to make this available for our partners. So if you're not a partner and this is something that can add value, we've got an easy way to engage with us and to join and benefit from that. So we don't know about the size of the groups yet. We'll determine that, but I'm looking for feedback from you guys. What are topics or elements of your business that we can in fact address that you would benefit from, and let me know about your interest, especially for our partners. But if somebody else is interested in this, please reach out to James or I to get some additional information. So we'll determine the size of the group or groups just depending upon who's interested in participating with us. Bud will be facilitating monthly, I think, is our plan. We're going to do it remotely, virtually, so you're not having to get in your car again to go to another meeting. And that provides some flexibility on, when the group can get together. So I think that's the point we're at right now. So anybody have any quick questions or anything they want to throw out at this point? Yes, sir.
Mike, let me clarify something as well, and that is, this is not a pick your brain kind of thing. I don't have that much of a brain. I mean, sorry, it doesn't work that way. What we want to do is to see what the problem is, and then give me the opportunity to research it and put that together with my experience and be able to come with a solution. I've told Mike before when we've talked about this, during those years that I was running what became a pretty good sized company, I had 4 direct reports. And when we had a problem or an issue or something needed to be looked to, I would call them in the conference room, and I would have a solution on the chalkboard with the requirement that they had to shoot that solution down, help me change it, alter it. So I don't believe in coming into a room with it off and just say, here's the problem, let's try to solve it. I believe in coming in with a solution, and then we can all look at that and say, does that make any sense? Or I'm not sure about this issue, so I'll go back and check that some more. So that's the way I like to teach. I don't like to lecture. I like to respond to problems and then go research them, find some answers, see where other people had that same problem, and try to find a solution to it. Hopefully that clarifies that just a little bit.
So hey, Bud, as you're talking about, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Lynn.
So, Bud, as you're talking about not talking about subjects or topics that are specific to business development or nuts and bolts, could you give an example of the kind of a question that you're looking for from us?
Yes, Mike Lynn just almost referenced a problem that I think I heard him say you might have, and that is how to get the word out and that sort of thing. So we want to get down to specific things, not how to, I almost contradicted myself there. And that is how, when you get to 5 people, do you set up a personnel department? We can talk about that and we can find some answers to that. But on the other hand, if you have 5 people and you have a personnel problem with one of them, we can talk about that. Believe me, there are very few problems out there that in almost 50 years in leadership roles, either with small regional offices or the larger company, I've seen it all pretty much. But again, I say that carefully because I don't want you to think then, oh, he's just going to go back, find something in his past and tell us how he did that. No, I will do that, but I also want to reinforce that with the best resource materials that I can find. I love to do research. My students would tell you that when I respond to their papers, they will get research from me with 3, 4, 5 reference points to which they can go. So it's a combination of really studying the question, because that's what I love to do, and then bringing my own experience into it. Does that help?
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Hey, Bud, the other thing you and I talked about, if you recall, is because we've got these groups put together, it's not just about you interacting with them in a problem-solving role, but really engaging with the group, getting them to bring their experience to the table as well, correct?
Exactly. Very much in the same way I mentioned the way I ran my own staff. Anybody in the room come forth with an answer and let's take it or leave it or shoot it down or go back and do a little more research or whatever it takes.
Yep. Good.
It's a real brainstorming until we come to a solution.
Any other questions? By the way, for those of you I haven't met, I was helping with some technology issues. My name is Mike Sullivan. I've been with this project from its inception with James. Recently, we made a transition from Mercy Today, for those of you that have been with us for this period of time. So Marketplace Catalyst is the new gig. So essentially, we're just transitioning the entire operation over with all of grandfathering all of our existing partnership levels, and we're obviously looking to continue to build value in what it is that we're doing for you guys. So we're committed to supporting the Christian business person. I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. I haven't been at it quite as long as Bud, but I'm right behind him with some of you guys as well. So thank you for coming.
Mike, you made an interesting statement there too, and that is any and every solution we look for, we will try to find the biblical answer to that as well, because I believe there is one to just about anything if you really want to get to the heart of it. I don't like the notion of what would Jesus do, and yet I like to go back and see what Jesus did. And you can pretty well figure out from that what he would do in the circumstance. So if it's not biblical, Mike, I don't know why I told you this directly, but I'm not interested.
Yeah, I'm with you there, buddy.
As Mike Sullivan mentioned earlier, we have Mike Husbeth is also volunteering his time to this initiative. Mike Sullivan's Husbeth has been on the call a couple times, and he's built out our business assessment tool that we have available on our website, as well as doing that one-on-one aspect of understanding where you need to go with your strategic planning that Bud presented. And so he's been taking folks deep, and many of our partners have benefited from that. Mike Husbeth ran Starbucks for Europe and also Chili's restaurants global. So he's got a lot of experience under his belt as well, and is available from time to time to continue that. I think he just took Garden Industries down in Salem, that nonprofit that does a lot of helping and employing people with disabilities and veterans through their whole strategic planning process. So, and I think you're scheduled to meet with Mike Husbeth, Lynn, in the next week or so, right?
Yes, that's right. I have my first one-on-one with him next week, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, very good.